Hi guys, I hope everything's going well at home. I just wanted to let you know what's happening next in class and thank you for submitting your assessment tasks. There's still one or two I'm still chasing, but I've contacted you personally. So what's happening now is we're going to be planting our seeds into our little planter boxes and growing our seeds and filling out a folio similar to what you've done documenting your sustainable practice, but we're going to be documenting us growing our herbs at home. When we do return to school, you'll be creating a planter box in the workshop. But in the meantime, you'll be growing them at home. And then when we do build the planter box, you'll be putting your herbs within that. So I've just created a new task. If we go to classwork home task, growing herbs. So we'll just view the assignment. Okay, and look at the instructions. So, as part of your food and agriculture unit, you are to grow herbs at home. You will need to film and record this process. This is due week 2, term 2, or the 8th of May. The booklet to record this work is attached here as a Google Doc, which I'll show you in a moment. Attached here also are the instructions for how to grow these at home. So have a read of this. Now, before you start, look through the document and see what's involved. We're going to do that now together, and you can start working through the booklet. So before we look at the booklet, I'll just show you what I've posted here. These are the instructions for the soil pellets that you would have got with your planter boxes and the instructions of what you need to do just there. Okay, these are the instructions for your little planter box. And you're going to do, sorry, it's the wrong way. You can download that yourself. You're going to do a little bit of research about the conditions or how to grow each of your herbs. Now, you would have received chives, rocket, and parsley. So I've just photographed the back of those packets for you. And you might have a little read of that, of the best conditions that these seeds grow in. So you might have a think about where you could place your planter box, whether it be under a window, in the shade, in the sunlight, but you can have a look at those just there. Okay, so everything you're going to be doing is within this document here. I've created a copy for each of you. You can see each of you have a copy and you'll be working through that. So let's have a little look. All right, I'm only going to go through the first 2 pages. Sorry about my phone ringing. Just going to go through the first 2 pages. So you're first going to be looking at identifying and defining. You'll notice these are the same headings from your assessment. So first off, I'd like you to brainstorm a range of herbs suitable for growing herbs in a box. So in these little Jiffy boxes, what are some herbs that would be suitable? So do a little bit of research there and you can just add a list. Then investigate the nutritional value of chives, parsley and rocket. So that means how good are they for us? What benefits do they have? What vitamins and minerals do they have? And why would we eat these particular herbs? Next, you get to complete this criteria for success table for below. So sounds like some big words. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Sounds like some big words, but how do we know if our project is a success? Seems simple, right? The herbs are going to grow. If they don't grow, the project is not a success. So we need to come up with some criteria there. So here are some criteria to define whether or how our project's going to be a success. So the planter box sits flat. Why is this appointment important? And how do I achieve this? Another criteria, planter box is placed in a suitable place under the correct conditions. So why is this important? And how am I going to achieve this? That might involve some research of each herb and the suitable conditions that they grow in. How do I know if it's a success? The soil is not dry. The herbs begin sprouting and the herbs, of course, continue to grow. So you need to list why these are important and how do we achieve this. So that's our first identifying and defining. Okay, if you just click on this link here, actually takes you to the Jiffy boxes and gives you some information. These are the things that you have at home. So you might want to have a little look through that. It gives you some instructions, but as I said, I photographed the instructions for you. Okay, what's next? Investigate the conditions herbs need to grow in. Document your findings. So here you might want to create a little table chives, parsley, rocket, and then write about the conditions that they grow in. This is where you can look at the photographs I took of the back of the packets, or you can be using the internet. Next, start growing your herbs and develop a plant diary and schedule to care for your herbs once they start growing. Here is one suggestion of how to record this data. If you click on that link, it's going to open this up. And these are some milestones: plant seeds, first sprout, sprout is 1 centimetre. So you date these milestones and you put a photo of these milestones. So you can see why you need to read this before you start planting, because you'll have to document the whole process using photos. Okay, daily reminders to check the conditions. You can fill out this table and check the conditions each day of how they're growing. It'd be great if you could take a picture of each day and see how much they are growing. Find a recipe that you would like to make that includes these herbs. Copy and paste the recipe below, and research the benefits of growing herbs and vegetables. Document your findings. Consider the impacts on communities and our environment. So lots of things to work on there in research and planning. This producing and implementing, making the herb box, we have to skip completely. So don't worry about this at all. This is what you'll be doing in the workshop when you return to school. Okay, and don't worry about testing and evaluating just yet. So what we're going to be focusing on for the next 2 weeks will be identifying and defining, and research and planning. If you've got any questions, just put it on today's post. Everything's there for you to use, but please put it on today's post. So if there's a question that another boy is asking or thinking about, you might find the answer, and feel free to, in a suitable manner, answer each other's questions. So I'll create a proper post for this, you'll see on Classroom, but as I mentioned, everything's in student work, and if you haven't started already, get planning and get photographing, but do that research first. Do that research first so you know best how to grow them so your project can be a success. Thanks, boys.